Welcome to Living Local After Dark. I'm your host, Sharice Gomez. It is Friday night, and that means I have a treat for you all. Let me introduce, she is a viral sensation, a multimedia journalist, podcaster, pop culture savant, honey, and your favorite personality. Oh. You gave her lemons, and she'll crank out viral lemonade, okay? Please welcome my girl, Leah Henry.
I mean, what an intro. I'm here for all of the shenan and the agains. We've been friends for years, though.
Yes,
so, like, I mean, this is just going to be a treat.
The trenches. Let's talk about them. Let's not.
Honey, let's not.
Let's not.
But we have seen better and worse days.
And that's a show in itself, and we probably could not broadcast it, okay?
So it would be past after dark.
Yes.
It would be after dawn.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So.
6 a.m. television, 6 a.m. television. Well, Leah, I'm so excited to have you here. It's such a pleasure. And like I mentioned, you are your favorite personality's favorite personality.
Oh, thank you so much. I
so
appreciate that.
I like I said, I have to give you all of your flowers because you are doing it. And like I said, you are a journalist because I think people get it confused.
Come on. People don't understand an influencer, a media talent, a radio personality, a journalist, an entertainment journalist.
All the above.
They
all
don't
the
understand
above.
them.
All the above.
Break it down.
Because don't get it confused. We're not just talking heads.
Yes.
There's degrees and experience and bullet points on LinkedIn behind this. All right, now that we got that cleared up. This is what we call Living Local After Dark. So we will go there, of course, within FCC guidelines.
Amen.
But please don't censor yourself. This is a safe space, and we're going to talk about what a week in pop culture.
What a week.
And let me start with one story that you brought to my attention on a recent episode, Angela Yee's Lip Service, which I like the title of that.
Yes.
Rapper Young Miami, she opened up about having several woman-to-woman conversations. I'm talking Barbara, this is Shirley conversations. And so this is regarding men she's dated before, and she explained that unless a woman is truly prepared to leave the man, she'd rather not get the call. She doesn't want to know. She said ignorance is bliss. This is what she said, not me. And she's saying that she is refusing to be tricked out of her spot. Social media has had a big debate about this. First and foremost, have you ever had a woman-to-woman conversation? Has somebody called Leah Henry with the audacity of Barbara?
No. So I have not had this conversation. However, I have sat in the seat where I could have had a woman-to-woman conversation. I found out I was the other woman, and he was married. And I found out he was married because we were supposed to go on a date. I met him on a dating website. This was years ago. This was eons ago. But I met him on a dating website. We were supposed to have a date. So I followed him on Facebook. And I thought that maybe if he saw me add him on Facebook, he'd say something. Because I was like, maybe he's a catfish. Like, I'm not sure. So I added him on Facebook. He accepted my friend request, but he never said anything. We were supposed to go on a date. He ended up ghosting me. So I'm thinking, what's going on? So one day I jump on Facebook and I see a woman tagged him, and he was in the military, and his
hold on.
First red flag, right? First red flag.
Okay.
Especially in DC, right?
Yes. So we love our veterans, but
okay, y'all a little trifling sometimes. Anyway, so I get on Facebook one day and see a woman had tagged him and said, "Everyone pray for my husband because he is going off to be, what's the word?
Deployed.
Yes, deployed.
Yeah.
My husband's being deployed. Please send prayers." So I send a screenshot of that to him, and I say, "Are you out your mind? Like, are you married?" And he was like, "It doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah." Like, fessed up completely to it. And I was like, this woman's husband is already going to be deployed. Should I say anything to her at this point? Because at this point, would it matter? We never met, but also your husband was engaged to you. They actually got married on the day we were supposed to go on the date, which is insane.
Leah!
Yeah, I know. I hope he's watching this and like cringing, but yes.
You need to post for your millions of followers so people can let them know. We got to breadcrumb her.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought about being that woman to go to her and say, "Look, sis, your man is not in good, not good in these streets."
Girl
but I kept
code.
it to myself.
Yeah.
I did, because I was like, what kind of drama? You know, the problem with coming to a woman is you don't know how they'll respond. There are some women who will say thank you very much. There are some women who will be ready to fight you over a man. And so that's a slippery slope to play. But you're a married woman, so I have to ask you, if that situation ever happened, would you want someone to come to you?
I've said this on the show, so I've said this several times, that I am a girl's girl first and foremost.
Okay.
And I believe in honesty and truthfulness and being upfront and honest. And I also believe that my beef will always be with the person I exchanged vows with.
Correct.
The person I sat at an altar in front of my family, friends, and God the Holy Trinity.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any beef with any other woman. And
Right.
if you come to me, I need receipts because I am in again the journalism world.
Uh-huh.
I need receipts. Don't come saying, "Oh, your man flirted with me." Oh, okay, but show me a screenshot. Show me something.
And also in different relationships, infidelity is at different levels. There
That's
are some
true.
women who are especially athletes, rappers. When you're dating these people of affluence,
Yes.
like a Young Miami
Yes.
was dating Diddy. I
Yes.
mean, there's a different game to be played. There are some women who will say, listen, as long as my bills are paid and I'm not embarrassed publicly, I'm going to turn a blind eye. So it really depends on, what a person, signs up for.
And this is why I had to find me a nice private citizen.
Amen.
Okay, a nice private citizen that clocks in and out and brings home money and pays for mortgages and such and much. I did the athlete, and everybody's falling short. I've dated a trainer.
Oh Lord.
I've dated an athlete.
Oh gosh.
Professional athlete.
A musician?
Yes.
Girl.
I've done all the red flags. I've dated a drummer, an athlete, and a NFL football player. Rode the bench, NFL nonetheless.
But still brought it home.
He did not. I was Barbara and Shirley probably at the same dang time. We're running out of time because we've got to pay a couple bills and pray for Barbara and Shirley and Young Miami while we're at it. So stick with us. You're watching Living Local After Dark. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Living Local After Dark. I'm your host, Sharice Gomez. I'm back with the illustrious, the multimedia queen, the maven of all things media, Leah.
Hey, girl, thank you.
Leah Henry is back with us. This is What a Week in Pop Culture.
Yeah.
So we're talking about all the things. We talked about Young Miami and says she doesn't field any woman-to-woman calls. We've got that handled.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about another relationship in pop culture.
Yeah, that's actually, breaking off here in the district, in the DMV.
Speaking of living local.
Living real local.
Real local. And we're, of course, talking about Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. They have internet asking one big question right now. Should you ever spin the block with an ex, Leah Henry?
I'm going to sit this one out because I am actually talking to a guy that I dated like 4 years ago when I lived in the DMV.
You're a block spinner.
I am, but we ended on positive terms.
Okay.
My ex didn't have a baby. My ex also didn't play in my face. My ex also didn't have girls jumping out the frame saying, hey. My ex also didn't get sued by a chef who did admit on the stand that they were intimate.
I saw that.
I mean,
no judgment.
No judgment. And also, here's the thing. I think there's this societal pressure for women when we're having children and you're not married to somebody. There is this desire, right, to try to make this like family work.
Yes.
And I know it's not ideal. She literally talked about last Christmas when people were kind of like judging Stephon for not being with her new baby, for being with his others. Because even the recent 2 young ones, he has others.
Yes.
People were hypercritical of like, Cardi, why he ain't with you? And she's like, girl, I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
So I think, it's easy to judge, but I do think that, they have a newborn.
They have a newborn. Yeah, for sure. And I think one thing that I can't relate to, maybe you can, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, sis, is being ultra famous, because you can relate to that.
Oh, gosh.
And dating ultra famous. So I feel like the pressures of that, because I don't think Cardi can really date a private citizen. And we've seen celebrities do it.
Yeah, try.
Yeah. But so I feel like there's complexities that come with that. And dare I say, I hate the word baby mama, but baby mama drama that comes with it.
Yes.
But she was seen at a coffee shop here recently after they reconciled at a rooftop in D.C., of all places. They were kissing, holding hands, which I think is super intimate. In love, in a Mother's Day event. But then we're at a coffee shop and she's cursing him out.
On Mother's Day. But then Cardi jumps on social media and then says, y'all have never cussed your baby daddy out. I was just a little hangry, which that looked a little more than hangry, but that sounds good.
That's good PR.
That's good PR. That's a cute way to laugh it off and say I'm still with my man. But I mean, also too, there was video of Rihanna going off on A$AP Rocky, or what we thought was her going off on A$AP Rocky at the Met Gala.
After the Met Gala,
so, you know, again, we're not in these people's lives. And also, couples argue.
I promise you don't want to see the cameras. And me and my husband get to arguing because that's an Aries and a Libra. And you look that up, that's a fire and an air sign. And what happens with fire and more oxygen?
Y'all blowing it.
Boom. So, you don't want to see that. That's another level. That's Reese from the East. Nobody likes to see her. Nobody likes to see her. He doesn't like to see her either.
Yeah.
But so you're open to spinning the block. Have you seen it work?
I mean, if it's healthy.
Yeah.
If it's healthy, I think, but most people who have sustaining long relationships talk about how they want to jump out of it. Michelle Obama talks about several times that people eat her up about wanting to leave Obama at certain points of their marriage, whether people actually call a break or mentally are not in their relationships. I think relationships have ebbs and flows.
Yes.
Now, if you're going back to something that has habitually not been healthy, I think that's the different conversation. And who's to say we're not in, their house, their bed. We don't know what kind of arrangement, situation, conversation that they have had amongst each other.
Yep.
So it's really easy for all of us to judge. But I've realized as I've gotten older that really, like, everybody's relationship is different. Like, again, as I said earlier, infidelity in some spaces is not that big of a deal for some people. Whereas, like, not having a clean partner, like, some women are okay cleaning their house from top to bottom, where some women feel like that's slavery. There's some women who will cook, and there's some women who don't even know how to turn on a stove.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I think that, like, everybody's relationships is prioritized different things differently. And for some women, infidelity is not the main bread and butter. And I think Cardi B, who also just left a marriage that had habitual cheating in it and infidelity in it, also might not be as ruffled by infidelity as you may feel she should be.
She's desensitized. And like I said, the more and more we talk about this, I'm getting really sad for my girl Cardi. I'm getting sad.
And people forget how young she is.
She is young.
She is a really young mother, and she's also relatively, I think we've seen her for so long, but new to fame. Like, she didn't come from money. Cardi B is from the hood, and she will tell you that. And that's how we met her. So I think there has to be a little bit more grace when it comes to how we interpret how she handles this, because God knows what she saw as healthy relationships, or if she ever saw one.
Yep. And so it goes back to the conversation we were having on the show earlier yesterday, which May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I feel like to get into a good, stable relationship, and I've talked about this before I got married and in our engagement, I was in one-on-one therapy. People talk about couples therapy, but I was into, let me heal Sharice.
Myself,
because you said something very key that I want to touch on, is that what type of models I saw as a good relationship was different than what my husband saw, who has two parents in the household who've been married for 50, 60 years. What I think is normal and how a woman treats a man might not be normal, might not be healthy. And what I saw as a man treating a woman might not be normal, might not be healthy. But therapy can help me unpack that. But I think when you jump from one relationship to another, you don't get that healing time like you probably should. But then at the same time, showing grace. We all just want love.
Yeah.
We all just want to be loved.
And we all interpret it differently, too.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, sometimes I had a therapist break this down to me, and it's so vivid. I was telling her about my love languages, and I was like, I love acts of service and quality time. And my therapist was like, I don't know, it sounds like words of affirmation is important to you. And I said, oh, no, the way I grew up, like, we showed love. We didn't say that. And she said, just because you received love that way doesn't mean that's how you actually would like to be loved.
This is why therapy makes the world go round.
Come on.
I learned the same thing in therapy, is how I show it is not how I receive it. And how I received it as a child is not how I receive it as an adult.
How you like to receive
it. And how I like to receive it. Like, oh, in my house, my parents didn't do that. But was that healthy?
Right. Are you better for that?
This is why we call it the therapy month, okay? But it should be all year long. Leah, we're going to pay a couple bills and let people find their therapists and make their appointments during the commercial break. Right now, people. We'll be right back. You getting the music.
He got like 25 kids, too.
Yes. Nevadas?
What was it? Navarius?
Can you pronounce that?
Audemars Piguet.
He's lived in about 18 different countries.
Piguet.
It's Piguet. You uncultured swine. I'm kidding. Huh? This is the American way to pronounce it. This is what Chet Geppetto told me.
Just like how Mark says Montpellier.
Oh, God. Audemars Piguet. So I'm going to show, let me see if I can put this on camera. Yeah.
The little spiky
because
watches.
The watches that went viral were all AI. Those like
really?
So it's not a wristwatch at all.
Oh, it's like for $300, please.
It is a pocket watch, honey.
Not a pocket watch.
Nobody needs this. Nobody needs this.
And yet the hood will be stacked.
And that's what I talked about. We talked about this on the show earlier too. Is that sometimes people, and I have to say it's my people, Lord have mercy, will buy luxury just for luxury's sake.
Yeah.
Don't even like it.
But every year we see these viral stories on the news of like a handkerchief or a trash can in a designer company. It's like, you could get it. Them big red boots.
And
Remember?
somebody
That
else,
everybody
the
was
clown
trolling?
boots. Yeah. The big clown boots.
So, yeah. And people bought them and sold them out.
People will buy them. Oh, well, I put the wrong thing up here. That is Young Miami. We already talked about her. Is there anything you want to plug? So the last minute, I'll give you opportunity to tell people where to find you.
Yeah, just my socials.
Okay.
For now.
For now.
Until
God opens the door.
Amen.
All right. Feed room. This is the last 7 minutes. C Block, May 15th, Living Local After Dark. What a Week in Pop Culture with Leah Henry and Mwah. All right, stand by. Welcome back to Living Local After Dark. We are back here with, like I said, the media maven herself, Leah Henry.
Hey, girl.
What a week in pop culture. What a week in pop culture. Well, we got to round things out. We've talked all things love and relationships, but now we got to talk about luxury.
Okay, fashion.
Fashion. And something else driving the internet crazy. Audemars Piguet. APs.
Mm-hmm.
They teamed up with Swatch for a collaboration that's got watch fans completely in shambles.
Yes.
So it's split down the middle because I've watched all the blogs with the watch fans and the watch collectors saying apparently Swatch has collaborated with other luxury brands like Omega and other watch brands, and they were saying, okay, this is something that they do all the time. How do I know? I don't wear a watch.
Yeah, ever.
I work in media, so you Google how much your media people make. I keep it on the little iPhone.
On the iPhone.
But the partnership is people are comparing this to. Have you heard this? Like putting a Ferrari badge on a Civic. That's what they're comparing it to. And it's been flooded with memes, reactions, debates. And a lot of people have created with the AI version of what the watch may look like. But I have the official book, 8 different colors.
Okay.
Sis is a pocket watch.
Yikes.
8 different colors. And you see the AP emblem.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this?
So I don't like when we naturally say when something is accessible that it then cheapens the value of it. It's almost like so elitist. Like you can't sit with us. And then when you can, we disregard it. I think of like, and this is no shade because I love a good Michael Kors, but you know, Michael Kors is a great example. You know, when it was high fashion and people couldn't touch Michael Kors, it was like, oh, Michael Kors, and then everybody started. Now you can get it at your local Ross. Okay, same thing with like a Juicy Couture, like you know what I mean. But these brands, it's almost like when it's accessible, then it loses value. I think. It's a little, I don't like the elitism of it, but I do understand when you spend $200,000 on a brand and then you see everybody wearing it. But at the end of the day, it's still valuable. It doesn't take away the value of the watch.
Yes.
You're just mad you paid $200,000 for a watch that people are about to get for $300.
And I think I've learned just hanging around, not hanging with, knowing, talking to, interviewing ultra wealthy people, is that everything is about exclusivity. They pay to be an exclusive, club and an exclusive part of the plane or a plane by themselves because it's all about this is what makes it special. And as soon as other people have access, as you mentioned, it's no longer special. And that's why you see brands like Hermes who only make a limited amount of purses a year.
And you have to spend a certain amount to even
you can't even
qualify
for that purse. Exactly. So if you see that purse in the wild, you know that's somebody of a certain stature. So I'm assuming I can understand the mindset. I can't relate to the mindset.
Right.
Can't relate. But would you buy the AP Swatch?
No, because it's ugly. It looks like a Spy Kids watch. But I will say this, like, you know, shout out to the people who are going to be able to go get them. Like, go get an AP. If you want to say you got an AP, you get your AP. Personally, I believe in DH Gate. If you don't know what that is, I'm going straight to China and getting the lookalike for $5.99. No, I'm kidding. It's not $5.99. But
what about the little kids who made that watch?
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. That's not ethical. I'm just saying though, here's my thing. After the tariff war and China basically came and told us, listen, we making all this designer stuff anyway.
Yeah.
I believe the Chinese, okay? I'm going to go to my local provider in China where everything else comes from anyway, and I'm going to go get my AP, and it'll look like the $200,000 watch, okay? And who's to say didn't come from the same exact factory, so.
And listen, somebody will stop you and be like, did Future get that for you?
Hello, I'm one of Future's. Dang, dang. Bling, bling,
bling.
The girls is mad.
I'm going to get this watch.
Okay, bling,
I'm going to get this watch. It's getting weird.
Okay.
But I'm going to get this watch. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I caught the reference.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know. I was talking to you during the break about this. Like, I don't like luxury for luxury's sake. And I think we're on the same bandwidth. If something costs $1 bajillion and I love it, I'm going to work hard and I want to get it. But if it costs $10 and I love it, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And also, I want the people to understand economics, especially nowadays. One thing I learned from a very wise woman is if you cannot afford to pay for it twice and buy it twice, you cannot afford it.
Yeah.
And that has hit me, and I think that every time I buy something like a splurge item for myself, can I afford to buy 2 of these?
Yeah.
And still eat and still provide for my child and still, you know,
not be touching my pockets every
listen
time I gotta pay
and
for
eat
something.
ramen every night, which I actually like some ramen.
Yeah,
but
right.
You hear what I'm saying? I can afford protein in my ramen.
Yeah.
You have to think about that. So don't buy for luxury's sake. And I've seen people fall prey to that. And I think I've fallen prey to that, especially in our field. You want to keep up with the Joneses
Absolutely.
and buy the certain purse and buy the certain thing. But if you can't afford to buy it twice, it's not for you, sis.
I mean, and listen, with gas being $1 bajillion,
I can't afford that.
we got better things to focus on. I'm just saying, like, baby, that AP watch, you'll get a resale for $50 in 2 years. You will be fine. Focus on your finances.
Yes.
And I mean, if you can enjoy it, then go get your little Spy Kids watch, boo.
Not the Spy Kids. What? Now they're going to be thinking that as soon as they add the card, like, oh, Leah
Hold
called
that
this
up. Hold that up again. Just show them what you buying. Power Rangers, the ones that Spy Kids. That looks childish. Y'all quit playing. They could have gave us a better looking watch for that.
Well, honestly, it's $400. You know what I could do with $400?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Fill my tank 4 times.
Okay. Barely.
Maybe.
Barely.
Maybe. Well, before you go, Leah, I have to ask you, what is coming up on the horizon? How can we follow you? How can we throw our devotion and money behind you, sis?
Yes, we love money and devotion. You can always book me. Go to my website, leahahenry.com. But of course, follow me on Instagram at Leah A. Henry, on TikTok. A lot of exciting things coming this summer. A lot of lemonade to sip on. A lot of places to be. So make sure you follow me to keep up with all those things.
Is the lemonade still sweet and sour and
it's a little
cold
tart.
and refreshing?
It's a little tart, you know.
I like a tart lemonade. I need
a little pucker, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a little tart.
A good pucker-worthy lemonade, but always viral, honey, because I love seeing you on the timeline.
Thank you.
I love seeing you on the timeline. Well, Leah Henry, it's always a pleasure. Please don't be a stranger. Please come back and kiki with me again.
I loved it.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. You guys have been watching Living Local After Dark. Have a good night. Be safe. Do not take any woman-to-woman calls tonight. We'll see you guys later.